love how we're beautifully lit right now. No fluorescence. And Mr. Adam Lambert at Z100.
What's up?
Good to have you back. We were just talking before the interview. The last time I saw you, you don't remember this, and that's fine. And you probably have the award in your garage or in a landfill, but we gave you a Z award. I gave you one.
I remember that. That was a while ago, yeah.
Like, this is forever ago. Backstage at one of your shows, and I handed it. And you looked so happy, like I had handed you a $30 gift card to Olive Garden. You were so excited.
And it was for What Do You Want From Me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
That was cool.
Yep.
Yeah. Getting awards is cool.
It is, yeah. So what? I mean, you've won a few in your lifetime. What do you think that Taylor Swift is doing with all of her awards? There's no way she's hanging out on all of them. Where do you think she
giving
puts
it to all of her best friends?
I think so too. Did you ever want to be that person with a posse of best friends that you travel with, like the Haim sisters that you just like? Do you have?
Yeah, I have a lot of good friends. Yeah.
But like travel companions. These are the people who they roll with, like almost like an entourage.
No, I tend to travel more lightly than that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have my team, that are great. But I do a lot of stuff like independently. I'm people kind of go like, where's your security? I'm like, I'm okay. I'm by myself. I'm fine.
You don't have to admit this. Do you have what we call accessory friends that work better in certain situations than others? Like you have like maybe the vacation friends, but also the dining friends?
No, I don't know if I look at it that way, but I think certain circles don't necessarily need to be mixing together. You know what I mean? Like certain circles of friends like work well together for social reasons, and then like when you mix groups, sometimes it's like brain melt. It doesn't make sense. Why are we all together?
It's like, honestly, for me, that's like being drunk around family at Thanksgiving, or I can't never, because you know when you drink, the truth comes out, and when you've got family, be like, somebody hit on somebody a long time ago. We don't even want to talk.
Wow!
Whoa! And it's just the bad touch stories start happening. We don't talk to Uncle Francis. You know what I mean? I'm just saying that can happen in a family. Not that that's happened in my family. Well,
this is like an opening monologue on SNL. It's so tasteful.
You forgot what these are like with me. It's been a minute since you've been here, man. Let's get into the music, because I heard Ghost Town. That was a one-listen love song for me.
Oh, thank you.
That literally, I played it yesterday, and I hadn't heard it before I played it. I even said when I talked it up on Z100,
cool.
I'm like, wow, we're both hearing this for the first time.
For your first reaction, what did you say?
I want suck.
You got to play it back.
No, I just said, and then I listened to it, and I'm like, damn. I mean, it's so chilling, and I want to believe that you partially wrote it, even if you didn't.
I did.
Oh, good. Okay, good. Because it's so telling of relationships, and just almost like, and I do nothing but speak in metaphors. Remember, like when you were in second grade and you'd be doing math homework, and you only got so many times to erase on the paper before your eraser would go through the paper. That's your heart. And
wow, that's that's deep. That's poetic. I'm going to put that on a song on the next album.
Let me be your lyricist. Give me 8%. But I truly believe it's the same thing. The heart, I have friends who've gone through their share of heartbreak, and they just become, these cases of I only drink and hook up because I can't fall in love again, because you get
a little jaded,
and they just get upset. And we all have friends like that. You'll see that like they'll have friends they'll bring to weddings and stuff like that, but they will never be.
Yeah, I had a friend that heard this song for the first time, a good friend of mine, and I was like, "What is it?" I was like, "What did it make you feel? Like, what do you think of?" And he was like, he had just gotten out of a relationship, and he was like, it's exactly what I'm going through right now. It's like I'm tossing my hands up about love. I don't even have an idea what I'm doing anymore. I'm a little fed up with it, but let's go dance. Yeah.
Honestly,
dance it out.
Yeah, shake it out.
Yeah, I mean, I think the cool thing about it too is it's definitely about relationship, but there's some lyrics in there too that I'm really proud of, because I feel like they talk about like disillusionment and just kind of being let down by a lot of different things.
Which ones in particular? Refresh my memory.
Well, I mean,
here.
It talks about like I tried to believe in God and James Dean, but Hollywood sold out. I mean, I've been in LA for about 14 years, and it's interesting because it's like, I don't know. I think sometimes in certain situations, or you go through certain experiences, and it like tests your faith and your belief system, and it tests like the dreams that you might have had. People move to these big cities with these big dreams, and it's hard to kind of keep believing in them sometimes.
Because you've seen the LA experience for so long, and you are a huge success. Do you overtip at restaurants because you know that person is struggling and they want to be in the industry? So will you overtip?
I think I'm pretty generous.
Yeah. Is it because you feel bad for them, or because they know who you are and you know you have to, otherwise it winds up on a blog?
Sometimes I'm not as aware of that stuff as I probably should be. No, I tend to. I'm pretty generous, and I also like to take people out like groups of people out for dinners and stuff because it just makes me happy.
No, that's one of the best things ever. I love doing that too.
Yeah.
I love it. I love like not being able to pay rent because my friends and I all went to the Palm and got the seafood tower and drink. You never drink at the Palm.
What's in the seafood tower?
Oh man, what isn't on the seafood
That
tower?
sounds
Half
exciting.
of the Atlantic Ocean.
Barnacles and what have you.
Oh, you get it all. There's like a shipwreck. There's a Russian submarine.
Bermuda Triangle at the bottom.
Oh, you have no idea, man. You'll find amazing things in the seafood tower. It's a luxury. But yeah, it's fun to take friends out. And my friends and I will find any reason to celebrate. It's like, oh, you're not pregnant. Seafood
Yay!
tower. There's any reason
Shots.
Oh, exactly. But it is. That's one of the best things ever. And people don't realize it. Like hanging out with friends and having a good time.
Yeah.
It's such a rewarding thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are so focused on like their next tweet or Instagramming a cat sleeping that like,
Oh
you
my
know,
God.
spend real life time with your friends. We are way off track. I don't know what we're talking about.
I know, but this is good life
it's
stuff.
the best thing ever.
It's good
right
life
now.
stuff. I mean, that I'm gonna bring it back to the album,
Go
but
ahead.
only because there's
relevant.
there's
Go
a
ahead.
natural segue here.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the things, in talking about Ghost Town, talking about friends and the little things and keeping it kind of real. The song, the original High, and the album itself is definitely about let me take it back. When I was writing and working on the original High, the first song, before I started the rest of the album, I had some time off and I was hanging out with friends and doing that, going out to dinners, going to parties, going to clubs, having dinner parties at my place. And, like I'm a talker, as I'm sure you can relate to.
Yes, I can relate.
And like we have these big discussions, my friends and I, and I have a pretty diverse group of friends, different ages, backgrounds, orientations, race. And I wanted to kind of get an idea of like, I said to a dinner one night, I said, what is everybody looking for? And no one really knew. Everybody's like, I don't know. And that was the thing that I found really interesting.
Because no one asked that question.
No one asked that question, but I think it's really hard to put a finger on it because people, we tend to kind of run in circles a little bit. Sometimes you're like, well, I don't know, that felt really good when I did this 4 years ago, or when I first got this gig, or when I first dated this person, and I want to just have that again.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that actually is possible.
No. Once
know?
you've achieved it, no. And you don't realize when you're, in the ride that the ride is the best part.
Yeah.
No one ever knows that.
No. The
'Cause you're so
journey.
stressed out.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's the most fun.
And our generation and especially in these big cities, we're kind of always looking for the next best thing. You know what I mean? And like that can kind of be a trap too, because you're like, you're not appreciating what's in front of you.
So true.
And that's the song is chasing the original high. That's the hook.
Now I got to hear that and completely relate to that as well.
I think you'll like it.
Do you feel as well that when you're out with friends having these amazing conversations, and maybe it's because you're drunk and just don't realize that it's mainly total nonsense? Do you realize that like someone should have a camera and should be following you because this is just wasted on your table? That you need like a Jon Favreau old school dinner show where like you and your friends. Do you ever think that could be something that maybe could wind up online?
Maybe, although I would end up saying things that I would probably regret.
You would be taken down.
Yeah, I am pretty open. I have no filter, and in the last couple of years, there have been plenty of times where I've been like, "Oh, head slap! Why did I say
Facepalm
that?
head slap.
I didn't even realize that's how it sounded." And then, of course, the media can take things and they turn it into the game of telephone, and all of a sudden, I'm like a purple elephant, and
I want your unfiltered opinion on something. And we'll just touch on this. I know you're tired of it. Idol, it was time, right? Definitely time.
I don't know. I mean, I think they had a great run and they've launched some amazing careers. I mean, I'm very thankful to them for everything they've done. And, sometimes the zeitgeist just shifts and society, wants something new or has, something's run their course. I mean, the best sitcoms close, like when Seinfeld went off the air, when Cheers went off the air, when, Will and Grace, when like all these amazing like touchstones of television, they have their time and then they don't.
Yeah, because if they go on too long, they're just bad and it leaves a bad memory behind. It almost, and I'm not going to say bad memory in Idol situation, but it almost seems, at least to me, a little witness protection programming that if you do win, you're just like taken into a cave where they keep the nuclear waste and we never see you again. And it's sad. I don't want to ever say that someone's life, someone's career is disposable, but it almost feels with certain singing shows, like there was one last night with a winner, that we just don't hear from these people.
And it's a shame.
Sad.
It's a shame.
Is.
I feel for the people that go onto these shows and put their all into it, and that happens. And it's music industry is tough, man. Like it's easy to get lost in the shuffle. So you got to work hard. Timing's really important. Strategy is really important. Having the right people around you is like probably the most important. Management and publicists and all this stuff. It is a business.
Yeah.
And it's not an easy one.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
You've seen it. You've got friends. You know people. It's so true. One last thing. I know we got to let you go. Is this a real quote? You said that you're going to tour as a solo artist, quote, if people like this record. Is that true?
Well, I mean, people have to know the songs so that you can go and sell tickets to a tour.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of how it works,
You ever find yourself distracted on stage?
Yeah, all the time.
By what?
People. I look at everybody when I'm performing. I make eye contact. I start thinking like, oh, what's she wearing? And I'll still be like, oh, he's cute. Or I'll be like, wow, why is that person standing up and dancing like that? And what's on her head?
Will you sometimes be like, completely zombified by when you look down, you'll see somebody making eye contact and mouthing every word to a song that you maybe just recorded a month ago? That's
that's pretty much every Lambert. I think you just summed them up. But I love that. That's when that's one of the things that when you're on stage, it kind of pumps you up and gives you energy. And that's my favorite thing about live performing is all the energy you get from the audience.
Is the 180 of that like being on TV where you get done and the guy, okay, I need your mic pack. I think you get done, you're off that high and someone's just trying to grab your mic.
I mean, it's kind of the difference between being in the studio versus being on stage. There's it's a different vibe. It's a different discipline,
How do you get that moment, though, when you've done something good in the studio? Do you have to take the song out in your car, listen to it, and kind of analyze it? How do you...
You play it back, or you were working with somebody you really trust. I mean, on this album, I worked with a group of people who are really good at what they do. I worked with Max Martin and Shellback.
Oh, yeah, that'll work.
And their team,
Max Martin, yeah.
Yeah, you may have heard of him.
Yeah, I think we know him, yeah.
So that kind of took a lot of the pressure off, and I trusted them so much because their track record's so good, and I'm such a fan of their work. So when I would do something in the studio and he would give me an adjustment and ask me to do it this way or that way, he's the guy.
How do you hold back the temptation to walk in there with IKEA furniture and have him help you put it together with an Allen wrench? Just because that's his country. He would be the one guy I know who could put it together 4 times as fast.
Wait, ain't IKEA Danish?
I thought it was Swedish.
Is it?
Whatever, same place.
Oh,
I know it's Swedish. I think it's Swedish. Yeah,
you were right. Good joke. It was lost on me. I don't know.
It's all good. Man, thanks so much for rolling by here. It's been too long. Please come back sooner.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Adam Lambert at Z100.